Adopted by world leaders in the year 2000 and set to be achieved by 2015, the Millennium Development Goals, or MDGs, provide concrete, numerical benchmarks for tackling extreme poverty in its many dimensions. The MDGs also provide a framework for the entire international community to work together towards a common end, making sure that human development reaches everyone, everywhere. If these goals are achieved, world poverty will be cut by half. Tens of millions of lives will be saved, and billions more people will have the opportunity to benefit from the global economy. This short film looks at the practical work being done by Ukamba Christian Community Services in Kenya. If the world works together, we can make a difference. It is the young and the old who suffer the most when things go badly for a community, and it is only the willingness of the community to assist that enables them to survive. Emergency food aid is of no use to a woman who cannot carry the sacks of grain to her house on the edge of the village. It is only when people work together that real change begins and ideas become reality. But stopgap solutions are not enough. This woman and her husband will not go hungry now. But what of the future? It's situations like this that make the most sense of the work of Ukamba Christian Community Services. This is an emergency relief food line. Kenya has been in drought for the last 2 years, and these people desperately need food aid. But they also desperately need the services Ukamba provides, because Ukamba teaches them how to make the best use of the resources that they have, how to harvest the rain that falls, and how to irrigate crops so that even in the driest of times they can produce food for themselves and their families. Without Ukamba, things remain the same. With Ukamba, there is great hope for a change where people can take control of their own lives. Ukamba Christian Community Services, or UCCS, is the development arm of the Anglican Diocese of Machakos, Kitwe and Garissa. It is ably led by Esther Musili, one of a growing number of women in senior leadership roles within the African Church. Esther is very clear about the role of UCCS.
We don't want to look like a donor. We don't want to look like we are out to give out handouts. But we want to facilitate within an existing system and appreciate what is already available within a community setup and build on the existing, because that's how we have been able to realize great change. And we are quite happy, and even the communities are happy.
The screening process for communities wishing to work with UCCS is extremely rigorous and demands that the community show a genuine, long-term desire to change. This has come about because, in the past, UCCS noticed that people always signed up, but didn't always see the process through, being content with short-term results. UCCS staff work with the communities to explain the necessity for long-term planning of change, and the community then proves itself interested by participating in a thorough application procedure. Again, this respects the capacity and will of the people for real self-determination. Funding from donors allows the communities to do the things they have been planning. Most communities are already fundraising for these projects, and the assistance they receive means that they are able to complete their projects much earlier, saving time and lives.
The people are very proud, they are very skilled. It's only the challenge of rainfall. When, like today, they do their farming and they harvest, the following season, the rains might fail. And it can take also 3-4 seasons when it has not rained. So the farmers who are very innovative and very capable, they go back to the original situation of hunger and starvation. And also, this has also affected the children to an extent, and the malnutrition, especially in this region where UCCS is working, is very high. Yeah.
Food security relies on water security. Water for agriculture and potable water for drinking. one incredibly effective method of delivering both is the building of a sand dam. Here the dam wall is built on bedrock, but the intention is not to capture a lake of water, but a lake of sand. What it does is this. You see, 2 weeks ago this riverbed was just that, a riverbed. But then the sand dam started construction. And in about a week's time it'll be finished, and then when the intermittent rains come, the sand will fill with water, not just here, but for hundreds and hundreds of metres upstream, allowing the people to get clean, fresh water for their homes and for agriculture. This is the practical reality of the Millennium Development Goals. The rainy season floods bring sand downstream and it builds up against the dam wall so that when the rains stop, the accumulated sand is saturated with water, but very little evaporates off. Water is then accessible from shallow rather than deep wells, and the sand also filters the water, making it suitable for drinking. It's a brilliantly simple solution that provides millions of litres of water that would otherwise simply run out to the sea. Sand dam construction means hard work for the whole community. That is usually the women and children, and any men not away working in the city. They work in shifts of around 100 to 150 people, and they do everything from breaking the rock from the side of the river, carting it by hand to the dam site, digging up the sand and mixing the cement, and digging the water out of wells in the riverbed. In blazing heat and in the middle of planting season, these people work all day because they know the dam will transform their lives. UCCS provides the assistance of an engineer to supervise and brings in the tools and the cement needed to complete the job. Other than that, the people do the work. Oh, and UCCS also brings in the pay.
Now, if you think people are ladling a bit too much into their plates, bear in mind they've been here since early this morning working on this sand dam. They've been carting rocks, they've been breaking rocks, they've been mixing cement, they've been shoveling sand, they've been pulling water out of the sand that they have to dig down into. So a meal at the end of the day is a fair enough thing for them to expect. And in fact, it's all they get for this work because they're building their future. And that's what Ukamba Christian Community Services is all about.
Actually, what motivates us is mainly the change that we see at the community level. When we see people having food and they never used to have it before our intervention. When we see people not walking long distances to look for water, and for that matter, clean water, that they are able to drink and also to give to their livestock, we feel very much encouraged, and we will even want to work more. It makes most of us sacrifice to work even harder to reach out to more communities.
The work of UCCS and the outcomes of the MDGs are not about giving people food, but about empowering communities to ensure that they can grow their own food, create their own wealth, and fully participate in the beauty of life. Community development is about developing capacity, but it is also, especially in an African context, about celebrating community.
The community is very important. Suppose you are taken in an island and stay there alone, and you are given all the money you need, all the food you need. Will you enjoy life? The answer is no. In order one to enjoy life, he must be with other people. So unless you are in a community, life will not have any meaning. So being in a community, life has got meaning. And we should help other people to live better life than ourselves, so that we can enjoy life here and the life to come.
Yeah.